There was a guy who was worried about his latest performance in the bedroom and decided to go see a specialist. So he made the appointment and was seen pretty quickly. Well, after taking a look, the specialist said, "I'm sorry to tell you, buddy. Seems your little fella's just worn out from all the overuse. I'm afraid you've only got about 30 rounds left in you, and after that, it's over." 30? My God, that's terrible news. So the guy drives home in shock and walks in the house to break the news to his wife. 30, she said? My God, that's terrible news. We can't waste a single one of them. They gotta be for special occasions. We gotta save them. We need to make a schedule right now. No need, said the guy. I made up a schedule on the way home, dear. Also stopped by your sister's place. We're down to 29 and you didn't make the cut. Well, there was a young single guy on a cruise ship having the time of his life. Well, on the second day of the cruise, the ship slams into an iceberg and starts to sink. Passengers all around him are screaming, flailing, and drowning in the water. But our fella manages to grab onto a piece of driftwood, and then using the last ounce of strength, he swims a few miles through shark-infested oceans to a remote desert island. Well, sprawled out on the shore, nearly passed out from exhaustion, he turns his head and sees a beautiful woman lying next to him, unconscious, barely breathing. Well, she's also managed to wash up on shore from the sinking ship. So he makes his way over to her, and with some mouth-to-mouth assistance, he manages to get her breathing again. Well, she looks up at him, wide-eyed, grateful, and said, "My God, you saved my life." Well, he suddenly realized this is Margot Robbie, the famous actress. Well, days go by, and then weeks. Margot and our fella are living on the island together. They've set up a hut, there's fruit on the trees, and they're in heaven. Margot's fallen madly in love with him, and they're together day and night. Well, one day she notices him looking a little sad. "What's the matter, dear?" she says. "We've got a wonderful life together. I'm in love with you. Is there something wrong? Is there anything I can do?" He says, "Actually, Margot, there is. Would you mind taking my shirt here and putting it on?" "Well, sure," she says, "if it'll help." So he gives her the shirt and she puts it on. "Now, would you put on these pants?" he says. "Well, sure, honey, if it's going to make you feel better." "All right, fine. Now, will you put on my hat and draw a little mustache on your face?" "Oh, whatever you want, sweetie," she says, and does. "Okay, now, you start walking that way on the island. I'm going to start walking the other way." "All right." So she starts walking around the perimeter of the island, and he sets off in the other direction. Well, they meet up about halfway around the island. A couple minutes later, he rushes up to her, grabs her by the shoulders, and says, "Dude, you're never gonna believe who I'm sleeping with."